Welcome back and welcome to the workflow planning section for our first of the YouTube mini courses. So I'm super excited to jump into this. What we're going to do today in this video is we're going to actually work through the first 3 stages of the Node Navigator Blueprint core loop. And we're not going to learn about this loop. I'm just going to start kind of working here. And if you are interested in learning about this, I will link a video below that covers a little bit more about this framework itself, but I do recommend you download the project files because you will be able to pick up exactly from where we're working off and follow along with as much or as little as you would like. So very first step, I'm going to go through stage 0, the client, and we're going to come up with the results of what we want to make in this project. And if you've already seen the trailer video, which should come before this in the playlist, then you'll actually have seen the exact result that we are making here today. So let's begin. I'm going to get my yellow pen out here. Stage 0, the client. And what we're going to create today is we're going to create a motion graphics, motion design, kind of 3D style, actually definitely 3D, but some kind of little animated pegboard of these spheres. Maybe they're marbles that are starting at the very top. And maybe there's 1 row of them. Maybe there's 2 rows of these spheres. And then every once in a while, one of them randomly starts to fall. And once it does, it's colored a different color. And we can see that it is then active. And these are all kind of the darker gray ones, the less exciting ones. And as they fall, they're going to start interacting with maybe some shapes, some pegs, some static objects actually, so some ones that aren't moving, and then maybe some wheels that are spinning. And we've got a couple different ones that spin different directions. Maybe there's one down here. And then maybe there's more pegs at the bottom that they can then bounce against. So as these fall, perhaps this blue one comes and hits this peg, bounces here, rolls off the side, and then falls down. Maybe this orange one would have hit here, bounced over, maybe hit this side, rolled down, and then rolled off again here. So this will be a full simulation, and we will have the opportunity to create some randomized seeds, some different versions, and then hopefully a couple cool shots out of the end result of this one. So I want this full simulation. So I'll say pegboard simulation, marble, pegboard, simulation, and we want a few cool shots. And maybe this will be one wide shot, and we could have a tight shot of, if actually I could draft these in maybe a dotted red. Maybe we've got a macro shot up close of this one here. Maybe there's another camera here that is looking at this orange one. And then maybe we've got a full frame shot of them all. And then maybe one cool shot of some of these unactive balls. So maybe we can see one of them becoming active and slowly glowing. So yeah, that might be kind of cool. And we might even make up some extra shots once we see what this looks like. That's usually how I like to work. I'll create this whole setup, and then I'll just look around and see if I can find some cool angles that would end up looking good in a final animation. And that's part of the really cool thing about simulations, because you don't really know what you're going to get. So it's not as similar to animating where you're actually choosing exactly what you get. You kind of set these rules, and then you have some happy accidents that might come along. So That'll be stage 1, that'll be stage 0. Stage 1 is the director. And what we want to do in this video, in this stage, is we're just going to list out the core components of our shot. So we have our pegboard. We've got our marbles. We've got our, we'll say lighting. And we've got our cameras. So those will be the 4 chunks that we're actually going to have. We actually will have materials as well. And those sometimes I like to organize under the individual objects and sometimes separately, but that won't be too important on how we choose to organize those. For the pegboard, we'll have maybe the backboard. Maybe we'll have the pegs themselves. Maybe we'll have the rotating boards. For the marbles, it really is just a sphere. So maybe there's one sphere and a collection of all spheres. Lighting, and we've got an HDRI, maybe a key light. And then the cameras, obviously we'll have 1, 2, 3, however many cameras we have. And materials. I either want to do a wood material or a plaster material. So kind of a neutral color. And then the colors I actually want to have be mostly coming from these objects that are falling. So kind of a neutral tone. Actually, I'll just say pegboard material. And marble material. I could put a little box next to each of these. And these would be our individual chunks. And we would have the option, which in this case, perhaps I won't do that. Maybe I'll actually just do one of them. We can break those chunks into the individual tasks that the individual tasks that have to be completed in order for the chunk to be implemented. What this means is, if I look at our pegs right here, and perhaps I imagine that my board is at a slant. So as these spheres fall down and become active and start bouncing around my simulation, they're not rolling off the edge here. But the way I might create these pegs is I could either create one peg. So create one peg, copy peg, and place peg. Or what we could do is maybe this was a grid that had a bunch of different divisions here. Maybe for each of these little squares, we find the center and place a peg there. Or on each of these vertices, or these points, excuse me, we would place an individual peg. There's plenty of different ways to go about creating the actual geometry. And the point of breaking them into tasks is to reduce the complexity of a component of your project and make your individual setups needed be a little more straightforward to actually come up with. But for now, since this is a relatively simple project, we're going to stick with this and actually now move into stage 2, the pipeline manager. And what we need to do in this stage is we need to start thinking about the dependency orders of these individual components and how we're actually going to organize those. So what this means is we want to start thinking about which ones depend on which. And if we start thinking out loud, we know that the materials obviously need to be created and assigned. They could actually be created before our geometry is created, but they need to be assigned after our geometry has been created, because we can't assign a material to a pegboard that doesn't exist. And these marbles, they could be created before our pegboard is created, but they can't be simulated until we have both the marbles and the pegboard and perhaps these animated objects as well. So the way I'm going to draft out this one is we'll make a network from top to bottom. This is the start. And this is down here, the end. I'll put rendering here at the bottom. And we can actually now start to think how we can arrange these for our dependencies. So lighting and cameras and materials perhaps can come down at the end. So this can be camera. This can be my lighting. And maybe my materials are here. And now what I need to do is I need to have a pegboard and marbles and then a simulation. So one pegboard might be at the very top. Marbles, I could actually create those here, or I could create them here to the side. So these could be my marbles. And the important thing to note, and we won't go into too much detail here because I'm going to hopefully assume you've seen some of the other videos on this channel, that the items above are what we either are dependent on or may need in order to complete a section here. So this is kind of being sketched out in the same way that a Houdini network graph would be created. So this component right here was our simulation. That would need to have both the pegboard and the marbles themselves. And what we could also do is we could create the marbles, create the pegboard, and then simulate and kind of have these all lined up here. Or it could be create marbles, create pegboard, and then somehow that information is merged, and at the bottom here we simulate. So this will make a little bit more sense once you start using Houdini a little bit more, and hopefully this does make sense if you have seen some of the other videos. But for now, we just need to think about the order we're going to set these up in, and a lot of actually setting that up is part of the engineer stage once we get into Houdini. But one more stage of the pipeline manager, which perhaps does overlap with the engineer, is actually the Houdini organization, which is kind of the scaffolding of where we'd create individual components here. So maybe we're doing the geometry context or SOPs for our pegboards, and for lighting, maybe we're using Solaris, and which actually is what we're going to be using for this course. And then cameras, we could do that at the object level and then bring that into Solaris. But we want to start thinking about the containers we're actually using to organize and create everything we need for this project. So awesome. Apologies for that quick cut. We've actually just completed the first part of our workflow planning. And what we're going to now do is we are going to open up Houdini in the next video and start setting up the Houdini organization for how we're going to organize and approach the rest of this project. So awesome. That'll be all for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.